Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I thought today, instead of doing one of those normal makeup videos that I've been doing, I thought it would be fun to do a tag video just so you guys can get to know me a little bit better. So today I'm going to be doing the music tag because I love music just about as much as I love makeup. So let's go ahead and I have printed out the questions right here in front of me, and I also wrote down my answers just so I don't get lost or confused. But I'm definitely going to be talking through them a little bit more than just reading you my answers. So the first question is, which band or artist do you own the most albums by? I went and searched through my iTunes library and figured out that the band or artist that I have the most records by is Anberlin. If you don't know who Anberlin is, they are a band that recently broke up from Orlando, and they were awesome. I really liked them. My old youth pastor, who now lives in Haiti with his wife and his children as a missionary. Hey Ryan and Stacy, if you're watching this, they introduced me to Anberlin when I was in their youth group in high school, and basically I just fell in love. And I've seen them once live, which was absolutely incredible. So I just like listening to the music. It's really, really good. If you don't know who they are or what they sound like, go find them on Spotify, on YouTube, Pandora, iTunes, whatever your preferred music listening vehicle is, go find them. They're awesome. The second question is, what was the last song you listened to? So let's see what that is. Ooh, this is fun. So according to my phone, I am about 2 minutes and 49 seconds into What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction. But the last song before that was Best Fake Smile by James Bay. Great song. If you don't know who James Bay is, fabulous, fabulous artist. Go find them. Question number 3 is, what is in your CD player right now? I don't know who still has CD players. I don't, but I do have one in my car, and my typical car CD is 1989 by Taylor Swift. I think that record is absolutely phenomenal, and it's great to just roll your windows down and blast and dance to in the car and not really be embarrassed that people are watching you, because they probably love it too. Question number 4 is, what was the last show you attended? So my mom and my best friend and I went to Chicago, and if you haven't seen any of that, I will link the video that I made about it up here. And we saw One Direction in Chicago at Soldier Field on their On the Road Again tour, and it was absolutely incredible, and I just really like going to see One Direction, and I have no shame in saying that. So that was the last show I went to. Question number 5 is, what was the greatest show you've ever been to? So this is really hard. I've been to a lot of concerts, and I usually go with my mom or my best friend to concerts, and for my best friend's birthday one year, I ended up getting her tickets to see Need to Breathe at this kind of small venue here in Jacksonville. It's called the Florida Theater, and they were so absolutely incredible live. Like, it's one of those bands that, like, you listen to their records and you're like, I hope they sound this good live, and they just, like, exceed expectations. And we had seats in the second row, and we ended up just like going up to the stage with a bunch of other people, like where the band is, and then like there's people here like right up next to the stage, not like actually going up onto the stage because that's frowned upon. But it was such a good show, and it's like one of those things that we constantly talk about no matter what shows we go to, whether it's One Direction or we've seen Maroon 5 together. We've seen a lot of people together, but that's one of the shows that we are constantly talking about, wishing that we could go back and revisit again. Question number 6 is, what was the worst show you've ever been to? So there are 2 shows in this worst show category, and they're both for different reasons. The first one is the Rolling Stones, and that sounds really bad because I really love the Rolling Stones. They're absolutely incredible, and I think that they're just like musical geniuses basically. But our tickets, like, they weren't the best seats in the house, but they definitely weren't the worst. People who were actually closer, like, we sat up really high in the stadium, so we couldn't really see the stage or any of the screens that the band had to show what was going on the stage, so we couldn't see anything at all really. And then security really neglected our section, and people were smoking pot, and they just like were really getting really rowdy, and like it was uncomfortable for a lot of people in my section, and we like started to like tell security, hey, you need to like do something about this, and it just wasn't happening. So I would just say, just for that reason, just for just different issues at the show, not the show itself, that was why it was one of the worst shows. And the second show that I didn't really prefer was Tim McGraw. And not that Tim McGraw is bad. It was like, my mom was like, that was her bucket list show, was to go and see Tim McGraw. And so we bought our tickets for her birthday. And I don't know, he just didn't sound the way that he did on records that we've been listening to. And like, my family loves Tim McGraw and have since I was small. So it was kind of disappointing that he didn't sound as good as he did on the CDs. Question number 7. What's the most musically involved you've ever been? So I am very musically challenged when it comes to playing instruments, but I really like music. But musically involved, I played the recorder in elementary school, so that's about it. Question number 8 is, what show are you looking forward to the most? And I bought my best friend, Emily, tickets to see Taylor Swift on her 1989 tour for her birthday. And I am not someone who can keep a secret very well. So I bought them in February, and I ended up telling her a few weeks later, even though her birthday is in a couple of weeks. So I kind of blew that one, but she needed to know, so she knew when to take off work and everything. So we are going to see Taylor Swift, and I'm really, really excited. I saw Taylor Swift when she was on her Speak Now tour for my birthday. My mom and I went. So I'm super excited to see just the growth and the difference in her show. And I just love Taylor Swift. So I'm excited about that. Question number 10 is, what's your favorite band t-shirt? And I would have to say my Rolling Stones t-shirt is one of my favorites. It's just one of those things that, like, I feel like everyone should have a favorite band t-shirt. And you see people walking around in Rolling Stones t-shirts, and it's just like, man, like, it's such a classic thing. It's a classic band, classic t-shirt. It looks great with everything. Jeans, looks great with like a skinny pencil skirt tucked in with a pair of heels, and dress it up. You can dress it down. It's just very versatile, and I love it. Question number 10 is, what musician would you like to hang out with for the day? And this is a really hard question because I like music, and I want to get to know the people who write these songs and like where it comes from. And I thought like Mick Jagger would be cool. I thought Taylor Swift would be cool. I thought any of the guys from One Direction would be really cool. But like overall, I think Lorde would be awesome. Like, I think she's just so incredibly like determined to just make good music and to not care about what other people think about her. And like, I love that. And I think that she doesn't care what her haters think about her. And I just think she'd be really fun to hang out with for the day. Question number 11 is, what's one musician or group that you wish would make a comeback? Let's talk about the Spice Girls. So I was obsessed with the Spice Girls in the 90s, and I wish they would make a comeback. I know that they did that reunion tour thing, and they played at the Olympics, but it's just not the same as just putting on another record and just making it big again. So I would definitely have to say the Spice Girls, because if you want to be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Question number 12 is, what's one band or artist you've never seen live but you've always wanted to? This is a really great question because I've seen a lot of concerts, but there's a lot of people I still want to see, and one band that I'd love to see live is Aerosmith. I think Steven Tyler just has this like brain that works in such a creative way that like these songs that are written and the way that his shows are performed just along with the rest of the band are just incredible. And my dad really turned me on to Aerosmith when I was a little kid, so it was something that we've always wanted to do together, but they've never come anywhere close to Jacksonville. So Aerosmith, if you're watching this, come to Jacksonville. Number 13 is, name 4 or more flawless albums. So in my flawless album list, I have 5 albums. And as you can probably guess, 1989 is one of those flawless albums. It's just one of those songs that you roll it on the windows in the car and you jam out. You don't care who's watching. So kudos to Taylor Swift for working really hard on a great record. The second one is 4 by One Direction. I think that they worked really incredibly hard over the past year or so to make a record that was going to stand the test of time. And like, if you haven't listened to it, if you still think they sound like What Makes You Beautiful, then they don't. I promise. Stockholm Syndrome, that's my jam. Like, that's it. So 4 is definitely a great record. Brutal Romantic by Brooke Fraser is really good. And congratulations, Brooke just had her baby, and like all we've seen is pictures of her little feet, but they're so cute. But Brutal Romantic is really good. Brooke spent the whole time writing this record, like not on purpose, but it just kind of happened where she was living in winter climates the whole time. So the record is really cold, and it's just like an internal struggle with herself through the whole record. And I like that because it really connects with people, and it connected with me. The fourth record is Chaos in the Calm by James Bay. I love James Bay. If you haven't listened to anything by him, please go and buy his record. It's so good. He played for, I think, the Burberry show. If I'm wrong, please correct me down in the comments. But he played for Burberry, and that's how I found him, and he's so, so, so good. And I think people only know him from the song Scars, but there's so many great songs on that record. Best Fake Smile is one of my favorite songs, basically just talking about how you don't need fake friends and you don't have to put up this front that you're someone that you're not. So love that song, and I love that record. And the last flawless record that I love is Pure Heroine by Lorde. I think it's really creative, and if you don't know anything else besides Team and Royals, which are great songs, but there's other great things on that record, and I'm really excited that she's writing more music. So those are my flawless Question records. Number 14 is, how many music related DVDs or videos do you own? So I have 3. I have the Taylor Swift Speak Now. Ooh, butterfly. Sorry, I got distracted. My window's open and there is nature outside. I have 3. One is the Taylor Swift Speak Now DVD, and the other 2 are both One Direction. And I just think it's fun just like to have something frozen in time to look back and be like, I went to that and it was so good, and you can rewatch it. And you kind of like, with all this special edition type stuff and all the like scenes that are on there that are extra, you get to kind of see the backstage kind of stuff, and it's really fun. Question number 15 is, how many concerts or shows have you been to in total? So I've been to 20. About 20. There's probably more that I'm missing. I've seen Switchfoot and Need to Breathe once, Hillsong United 3 times, Taylor Swift twice, I'm counting going to see her in a couple of weeks, One Direction twice, Carrie Underwood twice, Between the Trees 4 times, Miranda Lambert, Maroon 5, and Tim McGraw all once. So great shows, and I had a really awesome time. And I just think concerts are one of those things that like you pay a lot of money for these tickets and you have really high expectations, and then you go and you have a really great time, and it's well worth the money. So I love going to concerts. Question number 16 is, who have you seen the most live? I've seen Between the Trees and Hillsong the most. Between the Trees I've seen 4 times, and Hillsong I've seen 3 times. Question number 17 is, what is your favorite movie soundtrack? Definitely Tangled. I love the movie Tangled, and I think that the soundtrack is so, so good. It's one that I just like, if I'm having one of those days where I just want to have some extra background noise and just kind of like some mindless music, that's what I listen to. But it's also the music that I listen to when I am on my way to Disney. Question number 18 is, what was your last musical phase before you wisened up? So I used to listen to country music all the time, and not even like good country music like Carrie Underwood or Miranda Lambert, but like bad country music. And some people might think that the bands I listened to were good, but it's not. It just wasn't good. And I used to make my friends all listen to it in the car, and I'm sorry, friends. Like, from deep down in my heart, I'm sorry. And the last question is, what's your guilty pleasure that you hate to admit liking? So I have no shame in saying that I like the types of music that I like, but sometimes you just have one of those days where it's just like nothing seems to go right, and you just need a song that's gonna like make you feel better. Dance around your room, dance in the car, do whatever you have to do to feel better. And Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus is that song for me. And that song is my jam. So those are my answers to the music tag. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to my channel. There'll be a new video on Friday, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.